We're running a tiny bit behind schedule, so that means I'm going to have to cut Craig Crawford's bio from the conference itinerary. Craig Crawford, Vice President of Operations for BC Housing, is going to introduce our next speaker. BC Housing is our sponsor of this speaker. We've got a pretty exciting piece put together here for you. So give a warm welcome to Craig Crawford, and thank you to BC Housing.
So, good morning. I'll be brief. BC Housing is really pleased to sponsor Dr. Friedman's presentation. It's entitled Innovation in Design. I think the nonprofit sector has been a leader in innovation and design. You saw some examples just up on the screen recently. And as well, at one point we had about 40 LEED buildings on the bleeding edge of the introduction of the LEED program. We supported the construction of the first 6-story wood frame building in the Lower Mainland. You know, the design aspect is one of the first things that got me involved in social housing. I think it's so important. I'm really proud of the buildings that the sector is building right now. They're beautiful. I think that really supports and feeds community acceptance, and it avoids the stigmatism that some people may feel associated with living in social housing. And we can't underestimate the impact of the built form that has on the sense of well-being. Time sensitive today, so without further ado, I would love to introduce Dr. Avi Friedman. I've had the pleasure of hearing his presentation before. I think you'll find it engaging and thought-provoking, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mike.
Wonderful to be here today. Can you hear me? The sound, the voice? Wonderful, wonderful. Now I need to find the remote, which I found here. It's wonderful to be surrounded by so many like-minded people who wake up in the morning and think about how to help other people to have a shelter, a home on their own, are blessed people. And we are not only doing job, we're putting people in housing, and this is what nations are all about. Home or housing has a wonderful meaning around the world. It's more than logic, the technical things of how people are living. We are talking about something that gives people life, where kids are born, where people age, when they do all kinds of wonderful things. In fact, the desire to have a dress of your own is something so prominent and something so big in every nation. You want to have a place to live. You want a place, a secure place to raise your kids. You want a place to get old in a very, very decent condition, and this is what housing is all about. But it became very difficult now. Let's not kid ourselves. Economy have changed. It is not so easy. When I hear sometimes the cost of housing in Vancouver, I don't know how to begin. How these people can ever be able to own a place. It is a huge challenge. And the basic idea is, ladies and gentlemen, how do we own a home? I was given a wonderful opportunity. Teaching in a university, every seventh year, we get a sabbatical. So on my way to different conferences, I decided to stop around the world and visit places in which affordable housing was provided. I looked in different innovative ideas and documented them. And today I'm going to share those ideas with you. I traveled to different countries around the world. I've been to South Africa as well. So wonderful ideas. I was also have an opportunity to write some books to which I got wonderful, wonderful things. And some of the homes and the building and the project that we are going to do, I selected and put them together so we will be able to be inspired and see some application of them to our condition. In my book, when I came back, I wrote to those architects, got first-hand materials that I'm going to share with you here today. Now, what I would like to do is start by drawing some conclusions. The tendency is to believe that homes become cheaper when we manipulate those factors, planning, design, construction. Well, I realized that today we are living in a time of change. And the change is that affordable housing did become a way to look after some other elements whose cost has also have been rising very sharply. So by the fact that we are integrating and looking after food, travel, energy, and health, we are also contributing to housing design. So The topic of today's session is Affordable Housing 2.0. So I wanted to begin in urban planning. If you were to look at the way we construct and design communities, they cannot be affordable to begin with. If everyone wants to have 2-car or 3-car garage, huge road, low density, it can never be affordable, can never be affordable. In order to do that, we need to change the mind. We really need to think in a different way. We need to bend our mind and understand that things need to be done differently. And where did I go to find them? I went to Sweden. Nation completely different, nation of innovators. And in Westerhamn, they converted an entire port into affordable housing area with beautiful, beautiful ideas. Do you see something missing in this photo? I heard something here? No streets, no streets. Can you design a house like this, a project like this in Canada? No chance, no chance. You will be evicted from town. Now, what happened is that they decided to design with so much innovation. And what they did is to introduce climate comfort, to introduce shared streets, no sidewalks. They're all using the streets. And they have diversity of housing. And in them, when I walked there, it was a new project I recognized, that I felt that I'm walking in a village. I saw a real place, not made-up place. You want to move in and be part of this environment. And then I flew across the continent, the world, into Australia. And I wanted to see how they house how they build social housing. How they house those less privileged people. And in the state of Victoria, they begin by inviting the best architects to design social housing. It's not a leftover. And I saw it in this project, which is an infill project that was designed in that community. Once again, once you introduce these good architects, it's not NIMBY anymore. It's a privilege to that community. And what you see, they build this wonderful project around the court, and once again, first-class housing, high-quality housing, because they want that these people will be proud. Affordable housing is about bringing people back to the cycle and the community, not stigmatizing them and letting them believe that they have a fair share in our society, and this is what they do there. Affordable housing is about smart and compact development. No innovation in apartments. We still build the same type stuff of housing. And I went to look for innovative apartment building design. If you are to see, we are living in Canada in a revolution. The first home of most Canadians in the next decade will not be single-family home. Forget about it. It will be apartment. This is what's happening now in Montreal, and it's happening from coast to coast. What young person can afford to buy anywhere in Canada a home for $500,000? Those who graduated from university. So we need to bring innovation to affordable apartment. And if you want to see some of them, you have to travel all the way to China. And it is amazing how the Chinese move from this to this, to this. This is what they do. If you want to see innovation, I traveled 3 times to China last year, and I saw some of the most cutting edge. And once again, the way they do it is they created a hybrid solution. Meaning in the same site, you don't only have housing, but you have hotel, you have schools, you have office building, all in the very same place. And they are beautifully combined with each other to create this wonderful, wonderful environment. And the combination of different things create a beautiful hybrid that subsidizes those housing. And this is what you get. In the connection in between, you get these public spaces which are fantastic. I went on to find another social housing project in China that dwell on all the traditional things. So they don't only, what they do is when they come to old stuff, they don't throw it out. They used traditional stuff to build upon and learn from, and they created this design that draw from the Tulu that is built there, and once again designed for migratory workers who work in that area in Guangdong, and it is wonderful. And then I went my neighborhood, to Toronto. And in Toronto, I find a wonderful, wonderful, interesting project. We tend to believe that garden and outdoor spaces can only be on the ground. This project introduced affordable social housing as a cooperative in a beautiful, beautiful area for people who work in the restaurant district in Toronto. Once again, beautiful design, and what's so nice about it is that on the 6th floor, you can see it here and here, you have outdoor spaces. And once again, innovation comes to the way we build housing for family. If we are to build differently, we have to think about rethinking apartment buildings to begin with. And if you want to see ideas, you go to Årstad, to Copenhagen. Speaking with the deputy minister, they think differently. They put the need of people ahead of everybody. And it is amazing how developers take second stage and how they bring the needs of people forward, and you can see it in Årstad. And in there, I saw the 8th house. I visited a house project by Big, and I saw this beautiful project that is designed as a 3-dimensional neighborhood. So what happened is that in the very same place, you have cafe, you have daycare, you have social spaces, all in the very same location, and you have a street that you can walk all the way to the 8th floor. Wonderful meeting place. So this loops around, and down there you can see that they love bicycle in this part of the world. Now, I believe that affordable housing is about innovative apartment. We don't have that kind of innovation yet, and I believe that we need to bring it to the forefront. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still built the way we built in the 1940s. We are still shipping 2x6s to a muddy construction site to be put together as a building in a time when you can get to an hospital, there can be a cut in this end, and they can fish a camera, another cut, and they can put a stent in your heart, but we are still building the way we built in the 1940s. I went to see advanced construction, and I found it in Holland. The Dutchies are so smart. Unbelievable what they do. They are wonderful, wonderful people who build wonderful stuff. And in there, I saw an entire community that was built on water. Save land. And once again, the floating homes are so beautiful, beautifully designed. And what you have there, they build first this dock, and then they ship homes. As you can see, they ship homes from the far. They are prefabricated structure, and they hook them together to create these wonderful communities. And you can see that the kids are having fun. Yeah, they don't have to go very far to the swimming pool. Once again, enjoying, and you see that instead of car, you can dock your boat right next door. What a wonderful life. And then I found the Love Cube. This is a light cube that can be easily lifted up. If we are to densify our cities, we cannot continue to build into the boonies. It's gone. And if we are to densify our community, we have to come with innovative solutions. Here are two solutions. Loft Cube is such a place. Once again, you can lift the unit, very inexpensive, put it on the roof of a place, and this can be the home of someone. Or you can do what happened again in Groningen by the Dutch. They go to existing area, prefabricated units that are placed on top of existing structure, like this one. You can see a community right here. And this become affordable housing, eliminate the needs for land and so on. But they reach densification with beautiful design, boxed, put placed on top of each other to create this beautiful, beautiful interior, all in affordable cost. I believe that affordability, ladies and gentlemen, is thinking outside the box. We are not need to construct the way we did it in the 1940s. This need to change. We all love big homes. It becomes part of our culture. The people who live in this home, they would like to have another one in Malibu. If they have a chance, another one in the south of France. We cannot afford it anymore. We cannot build it anymore. And we are seeing that today, Canadian family completely transformed. We have fewer people per family. And we're still craving to build these amazing, amazing spaces that we cannot afford. We are fed hard. We are tired. We put on young people huge, huge, huge Denver boot on their leg and saying, you have to pay mortgage for the rest of my life. When I was offered so much money when I was young, I say, something is fishy here when the banker wants to give me money. Something is fishy here. I took a little I could, paid it in 7 years, and you know what I did with my rest? I sent my kids to good schools. And I believe that this is how we should think. Start small, and this is what we need to do. We have all kinds of strategies to building housing that are compact, small, and nice. But if you want to see them, you have to travel to Japan. The idea, the mindset of the Japanese and working with small space is fascinating. They are not wasting anything. They are doing everything in compact and using the resources because they don't have any. And they need to use it, including space, very innovatively. So this is a 4-meter wide unit, and you can see how the design is so impeccable, how it was designed to be so nice, and how you organize the space, how you let in light, and how you create a small space to be so accommodating and nice. That's wonderful. This is the motto of the next decades. We have learned to believe that we want to do more with less. It's gone. We cannot do it. This is 1960s thinking. In the coming years, the motto of thinking will be doing less with less. We will not be able to do it. We don't have it. We don't have it. And now we live beyond our means, and we need to change it as well. We tend to be spoon-fed. When you come, they ask you what kind of kitchens you want, what kind of flooring you want, and you tend to believe that everything needs to be given to you. Not anymore. Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation sponsored the Go Home that taught me a wonderful lesson. Thank you for that sponsorship. And what I learned with that sponsorship is that we need to count of our muscle and strength. Bringing young people to believe that they will get everything is the wrong approach. Work hard for what you have. And what I believe that what helps us is the huge reno industry. So much money is invested in it, and we can take advantage. So to see something innovative, I went to France. In Mulhouse Housing Project, it is a fascinating project. It is a fascinating project, and there is, once again, in that place, they invited top international architects to work on them, and I will concentrate and talk a little bit about that. And the basic idea that the person who resides here, what they did is the first floor is completely empty, nothing there. And as you build, you see there are units above that build above, and what you see here, that is every person who lives here get to finish their own space. So here you can see that they went and they bought cabinets here. Somebody went to IKEA and they bought there. And here's someone who built their own stuff. This needs to be a change of mind. Believing or letting people believe that they will be getting everything on a golden plate, 1950s. Gone. Gone. Jurassic Park. Change. I believe that affordability is about growing with your home. You have to learn. We need to return back to basics. Every morning we want to work, and we believe that the only place to work in this office. Change. Where is the office? The office is where your iPad is. Your office is where you take your iPhone. Your office is now where you take your watch. You can do everything. Homes can be your office. And this is, again, something to need to change. And if you are to see in the past few years, we have fantastic advantages in Canada. We can deduct our work expense for our mortgage payment. This is fantastic. And you can see that electronic communication have risen so dramatically. So I went to look for this project as well. This project, I saw several projects. I selected this one. This is in California. where it was designed for people who live above in California. It was designed for people who live above their offices. Right here, they can live and they can work downstairs together. But the idea of letting families, moms and dad, work with their family, with them from home, is a way to make, once again, to make homes affordable. We never think it this way. But once again, it is so many people who start their life. And when you come to think about the greatest enterprises in the world today, Apple, Google, Facebook, you know how they started? From a little apartment somewhere. This is innovation. The idea of creating affordable housing is not about lodging people. It's launching new enterprises for British Columbia and Canada. And this is what affordable housing is all about. Once again, beautiful project in California. Affordability is about working at home. Energy costs are rising. If you are to go to people who earn less money, you will find that they spend 15% of their income on heating and cooling. 15%. We need to learn to reduce this cost of energy. And you can see today we are hooked to so many things, and the cost of it consumes tremendous amount of energy, and the cost is going up. We cannot keep up with cost of energy, and unfortunately, once again, it is becoming a burden on low-income people. So I went to see one of the most advanced projects in the world today. Everybody goes to Hammarby. Again, the way the Swedes and the Danes are thinking about housing. It's not how they think about housing, how they think about people, how they put the interest of people first, how they create a beautiful environment, and I would like to concentrate on the energy aspect. Designed in the suburb of Stockholm. It was designed a masterpiece of energy, on-site energy production. And what you get there, everything is green. It is the greenest, one of the greenest projects in the world. Everything there, you have shared autos, you have streetcar, you have boats, and all that stuff. But what I was amazed is that everything is then, that community was designed for garbage collection and production of energy on site to bring down the cost of energy. And everything is recyclable. So when you are walking through the community, you see these pipes sticking out. And if you will open the door and have something to throw in, there will be a suction sound. And where does it go? It goes to a collection place, and all is collected by a truck, and it is went to a plant where things are incinerated to create no energy cost for the community and benefit for the entire world and the environment. Once again, so much energy is produced and the cost is coming down. And this is the mindset that we need to adopt. Bring down cost of energy, you will have affordable housing. Affordability is about reducing energy cost. This is once again very important element. We spent 5 years of our life driving. 5 years. Can you believe it? Driving here, we are hooked to the car. I almost see this possibility with someone is about to pass away, and that the angel come and say, I came to take you, but you could have had another 5 years if you want to drive. And what happened when you drive? You have to listen to Lady Gaga singing the same song again and again and again. Unbelievable, unbelievable. And hear the same foolish joke played again and again and again. So imagine that we erase the car from the formula, no cars. Maintenance costs, insurance, car costs, no cars. I believe that we have become to understand that communities that have no driving cost are much affordable communities. If you were to design a place that will have public transit, you will be in a better situation. But we are not thinking with us, transportation is an aftermath. We don't understand integrated thinking, that you need to build the community, the place, the line, the transit, along with the housing, and we leave it as an aftermath and a change for later. Once again, something that needs to change. So where did I see it? I saw an entire social housing project designed in Madrid, and this one, once again, does not have place, or it was designed for pedestrian. You walk, and it is one of the most exciting projects today in Europe. Design, there are so many other advantages in that community by mixing type of homes, by mixing using, but once again, we, the people who live there, were told at the very beginning that they will not be able to park their car in the living room in front of the flat screen TV. Here, if you walk 20 meters to your home from your car, you are in trouble. You bought a bad house. You bought a bad place. Once again, you purchase a bad place. This is need to change. So you have their car-free. It is social housing, beautiful interaction, and beautiful, beautiful green element that make living there wonderful, wonderful places. Affordability is about not having a car. We tend to believe that the only place to buy food is in Safeway, Costco. Did you see how big this card became? When I go to some of these places, people, Canadians, they say, I'm sorry. You need a driver's license. These companies, you see, they make the food car bigger. People buy for an entire battalion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what's wrong with this picture? None of the things that you see here is good for you. It contains salt, and it contains preservatives that are not good for you. But we tend to believe that this is the only, in our hectic lifestyle, this is the only way to eat. This is how we conduct ourselves. Can we believe it, what will happen if, for example, first, we will realize that the cost of food has risen quadruple in the past decade. We pay tremendous more. Did you see how smart they become? You get today a container of yogurt. I used to pay the same amount, but now I see something fishy in this container. 750 grams. So they make the product less and they charge the same. So this is what became in food today, food strategies. But I believe that the supermarket must be in your backyard. This is how you will get good food, nutritional food. You get to work with your friends. You get to meet your neighbor. You get to be active. And this is the mind that we need to bring to anything that we do. Housing is not about lodging people. It's a technical thing. It's warehousing. Housing begins when communities are born. Housing begins when you give someone a hug. Housing begins when we create a net where somebody falls through the hole, somebody else can help them and pick them up when they are in trouble. This is what communities and housing are all about. If we think about technicality, we are wrong. It is connecting hearts to heart, and it happens by planting those seeds like these places that make people work together. This is who we are. We are living in the greatest nation in the world, Canada, and we need to make sure that we will have what Canadian needs, and this is wonderful, wonderful supporting communities. And this project, cooperative, was done a while back, and this is, you can see here, this is a building that was designed for people who would like to grow their food. Everything here was designed to grow your food in your place. And once again, you have all kind of metal roof. In the ground floor, they have a bakery where they bake their food, which is, again, wonderful, wonderful stuff. And you have green roof, greenhouse, and green yard. And they are happy, and they eat very well. I believe that affordability is about growing your own food, your own food. Future generations. In Montreal, we are building now 2 hospitals worth $4 billion. Doctors are now diagnosing kids with diabetes type 2 as young as 9. we are giving rise for the next clients, the next patient that will populate our hospitals in years to come. Should not be this way. Should not be this way. Ladies and gentlemen, housing and communities must be exercise machines. Housing and community need to encourage kids to be active and not stuck in a basement playing computer game forever. We cannot live like this. Canada, if you want to have good nation, it needs to be healthy nation. And I recognize that I need to find a place where kids are number one. And once again, I went to Finland. And I went to Finland because I found that Finnish kids are number one according to the United Nations charts on education. They are the most healthiest. And I say, why them? We are such a wealthy nation. Why them? And I found the project that explained me all. And what I found is that in that project, in a town called Purvu, as you can see here, there are clusters of places with play spaces. This is the only street in the community. This is the only street. Once again, there all the white stuff is walkable places. They are paths. They are not parking in front of their flat screen TV. I felt sorry for them when I was there because they have to walk 50 meters to their home. Oh, they are I felt so sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, none of the things that you see here will be approved in any municipality in Canada. None. The people will ask you, how does the ambulance or the fire truck reach that? Well, how the ambulance get to this spot to get a patient? Ladies and gentlemen, they figure it out. This is what innovation is all about. Do the Finns put their people at risk? No. They think outside the box, and if we are continue to build the same stuff, we will not have innovation. Innovation is when we come and you have an idea and you implement it and you work together to bring about change. And what I saw there that stunned me, that in every place, near every group of homes, mandatory by law, they must have a play space for kids. Every cluster. How can we have a healthy nation if our kids are not healthy? And when I continued to walk there, I saw, once again, something different. There, the recycling truck does not visit you. There is no energy saving which recycling truck goes from house to house to house. It's not saving. They have to walk to the recycling center. Another thing, I saw this woman. I saw this structure. I did not know what it's all about until I come to a place and I saw this woman. She was beating the hell out of her carpet. I said, that's a good way to get rid of your stress. You come, you get a carpet, and you beat very hard. But once again, she can afford to have a vacuum cleaner. But they decided that this is how they're going to save the environment and be healthy at the same time. Time for us to rise. Time of us to wake up. Time of us to bring innovation. Time of us to be dynamic. Time for us to bring all this idea to the forefront and create a truly innovative housing in Canada. I believe that the time has arrived. I believe that affordability is also about living healthy. What next for us? What next for you? What next for me? What next for the nation? I believe that we are living now in one of the most exciting times. Things we are living, sometime when you live these two times, you don't know what is about to happen. But I can tell you so many things. Our relationship with the environment. Our economy is transforming. 3 times in China, you see giant rolling out there. You understand that we are not what we thought we are. Things are changing. And in this regard, once again, we are living in a time where green building is asked to stay. It is not a word, green, mentioned by people with a long ponytail. This is gone. It is part of who we are. It's part of our link to the community. It is part of our knowledge that we care about those who will come after us. It is a commitment to Canada in the future. We are changing commute. Next year, every car company will have at least one electric vehicle. We introduce bike path in all communities. We produce so many other things. We're changing urbanity. We realize that building into the boonies and building community of 4 to 7 units per acre was horrible things, because once you do that, you have to build highway that you need to maintain and support, and this is, once again, very costly. And I saw in the many hashtags that this wonderful conference produced, and all the things that we have now a voice. We can from here communicate with anyone in the world. There is no shortage of knowledge. We can gather. Revolutions in the world, as you can see, started not by patriots waving flag, by Facebook. The world has changed. Those young ones among us will be our leaders, and they were born in the computer age, and this will change once again. You know who wins in chess? The one who wins in chess is the one who sees the most moves ahead. Standing here, I can see many writing on the wall. Economy, yes, we want to believe that it's good, but once again, you can see the seesaw. On that wall, I see the aging of the baby boom generation, my people with forehead that goes all the way to the back. And yours, John. Okay, so there are many things that are happening. We are in the midst of this revolution. And the idea of preparing is a mark of a good nation. Good nations are those who see the future, organizations that see the future, and prepare and usher this evolution, resilience, and adaptability that we need to do. It is hard to wake up in the morning and change the life of your organization. It is hard to wake up in the morning and go to your boss and say, I have an idea. It is hard to come and take your ideas and start a complete change and revolution in the way you do things. But I believe that those times in which we are offer us opportunities. It's opportunity to build a better nation. It's opportunity to build better communities. It's opportunity to build better society. We need to prepare. Canada has the riches of the world, and we need to put our mind. But the the element that we all need to appreciate is here. Our minds and our energy to bring about change. Affordability, ladies and gentlemen, is not really about subjects. I talked about many. It's not about subjects. At the end of the day, when the sun sets, affordability is about people and giving them choice, opportunity to start their own life in decent homes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Friedman. You are more excited about this speech than I have been or will be about anything in my life. Now, I think we all know that we all want your job so that we can travel the world, but we all probably know that none of us could do it. You're a really special mind, and thank you so much for coming all the way here to British Columbia to deliver this address. Last night we had a glass of wine together, and he made an offer to me to come here at a future conference and do a full day of training and education session. So if that's something you think would be of interest, I'd like to do that. I loved what you said about transit in particular, because this is an area where in British Columbia we haven't quite wrapped our heads around it yet. We're building SkyTrain lines, and we're building the most expensive homes along them. Oh, it's near transit? Let's make sure that only the people who can afford to buy a home can live there. It's very backwards. We have a lot of work to do, but by you being here and getting us starting to think in different ways, we have some of the greatest minds in our affordable housing sector here and in municipalities from across the province. Maybe they can start to plan their communities different. So thank you to you, and thank you to Craig Crawford and BC Housing for helping fund this fantastic opportunity and speaker.